te dakshinam mukham te namang pahi nityam te namang pahi nityam. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light and illumination. Lead us from death to immortality, and evermore shine in our hearts with thy resplendent face. Om peace, peace, peace be unto us all. It is our great pleasure, as I can see in your faces, to have Swami G with us. And it was very sudden trip and very short trip. So he will be tomorrow early morning. He will have to go back via some other program. So we got this opportunity to, and so my heartfelt love and thanks to the Swami and for all of you to come here. And his Swamiji will be speaking today on realization of fullness. Realization of fullness. So we are incomplete, so how shall we be complete? How can we be feeling full? I think we'll hear about that. And without saying anything more, I welcome Swami to speak and thank him again for coming and giving this opportunity to listen to him. Thank you.
Om Puurnamadah Puurnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Puurnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. That is Puurnam, this is Puurnam. From that Puurnam, this Puurnam has come. Realizing Puurnam here itself, Puurnam alone remains. Om, peace, peace, peace. So namaste and good evening, everybody. It's wonderful to see so many known faces, so many new faces. Pranams to revered Maharaj, other revered monks, Matajis. Namaskars to everybody, friends. Yeah, it was nice and warm when I came in day before yesterday, but I think I brought a little bit of the New York with me. So now it's a little chilly right now. But I promise I'll be gone before it gets worse. This mantra, Puurnamadah Puurnamidam, it's something that I saw as a kid before I knew what it was. In the temple ashram next to which I lived, this was about 40 years ago, I think. Yeah, more than that. And in the upstairs where the temple was, there was this little room where this was written on a wooden block. I knew enough Sanskrit to read it. Of course, I didn't really understand much of it, what it meant, but it evoked something in me. That is infinite, this is infinite. From that infinite, this infinite has arisen. And when we realize the infinitude right here, then the infinite alone remains. So that called to me, that evoked something in me, something, just a profound feeling of depth, of something wonderful, something transcendent. And for some reason, that little room was empty, except this block on one wall. And the room used to be flooded with sunlight and absolutely quiet. A stone room, so I still remember the cool feeling of the stone beneath my bare feet. And it's a strong childhood memory. And I've told this once or twice earlier. It has had unfortunate consequences. There are people who said, that's wonderful, it's so touching, I must see that. They've gone there. I've even received a phone call from a monk in that ashram from India. What did you see as a kid? Can you tell me? There are people here, they want to see that. And most recently, I somebody wrote that, on an impulse, I've jumped on a train and I'm on my way to the city, the Bhubaneswar where you grew up. I'm going to go and see that room with where this is written. They're all going to be disappointed because it's not there anymore. The whole thing was remodeled. It's a much bigger, much more beautiful, larger temple now. So that room is gone. But anyway, the verse is there, of course. And when I grew up, I read a little more. I began to read Vedanta. I realized it's what's called a peace chant, a Shanti mantra. Puurnamadah Puurnamidam. And it's my favorite among the peace chants because it's so deep, so profound. It encapsulates the whole of Vedanta. One beautiful thing about Vedanta is that it's so elegant. You can summarize this vast literature in a single verse. Puurnamadah Puurnamidam. And you can expand this one verse into the entirety of Vedanta. One teacher of Vedanta told me the skill of the teacher lies in condensing the entire ocean into a drop and then expanding the drop back into the ocean. The famous half a verse, Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya Jiva Brahmaiva Napara. Brahman alone is real. There is an ultimate reality. And the world is an appearance. And the sentient being, us, we are none other than Brahman. Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya Jiva Brahmaiva Napara. And that's all of Vedanta. You can make it even shorter. You can condense it even more into a short sentence. Tat Tvam Asi, you are that. And that's all of Vedanta. The more we study Vedanta, we should be able to link it back to that sentence. We should see how whatever we study in Vedanta is some aspect of that sentence. Is it that? Is it you? Is it how you are that? All of it somehow reduces back into that sentence. And there are other sentences like that in the Upanishads. Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. Prajnanam Brahma, consciousness is Brahman. I am Atma Brahma, this very self is the ultimate reality. All of these, each of them in their own way, they express the same thing and they express all of Vedanta. That's really elegant. You can put the whole thing in one sentence. And then you can expand that sentence into the whole of this extraordinary science. You can make it even shorter. You can compress it into a word, a single word. Like this word Puurnam. It comes 7 times in this peace chant, Puurnamadah Puurnamidam, 7 times if you count. And the word Puurnam itself, it's so evocative. I was just thinking, in one way, if you were to describe all of Hinduism, you could describe it in one word, Puurnam. The whole, the limitless, the complete. If we understand what that word, if you develop that word Puurnam, you begin to understand what's going on in Hinduism. This amazing diversity, this bewildering, variety within Hinduism. Just consider the nature of the ultimate reality. If we think that the ultimate reality is formless, there's a big argument. If you see in Sri Ramakrishna, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, people would ask, or Sri Ramakrishna would ask, do you think the reality is, are you attracted to the formless or the one with form? Can both be true? So if you think that the ultimate reality is formless alone, there cannot be forms. There was a whole reform movement in the 18th, 19th century India where you get rid of all these images and idol worship. It's all wrong. You can't have, God doesn't have forms. How can you worship God with form? Well, if we think that, then my religion is not Puurnam. It's not complete. If I think the other way around, God is only personal and with form, but cannot be cannot be formless or impersonal. Then again, my understanding of religion is not Puurnam. It's not complete. It's somewhere lacking, somewhere falling short. And if I think it's with form, yes, but it only has to be a male form. God has to be a man, male in some way. I asked a rabbi, why is it stressed so much that God has to be male? And he was sort of half joking and half serious, half joking. He said, you think about the voice of God. If you see a high-pitched, squeaky voice, it doesn't sound that impressive. So it has to be a male voice, the patriarch's booming voice, And he was half joking, but only half joking. No, if you just think God is male, and cannot be female. No, it's not Puurnam, it's not complete. If you go to India, and especially the part of India that we come from, I or Bengalis, or the city I talked about, Orissa, the eastern side of India, their God is primarily female. Mother. God is the mother. Sri Ramakrishna, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, whenever they talk about God, it's often he, God. But Sri Ramakrishna meant she. So God is female. God is male. God is without gender. God is with both genders, can be represented as both genders. The well-known Ardhanarishwara depiction of the male and the female in the same body. And beyond gender, God doesn't have to be anthropomorphic, human. It can be in non-human forms. It can be worshipped in animal forms, in elemental forms like fire or space or light. And all of this, if you leave something out, it's not Puurnam. In all these ways, the ultimate reality can be accessed. So Puurnam is a word, the wonderful word, means complete, whole, full, infinite. Another word is Brahman. Again means the same thing. If we see etymologically, the root from which Brahman, the word comes, Breha, the Sanskrit root, it means to expand without limit. So the word Brahman means vast. You might ask, a vast what? A vast being, a vast God, a vast sky? Nothing is given after that. Just means the vast. When you just say vast without qualifying it, it just means limitless. So the word Brahman and the word Puurnam, they mean the same thing. They're pointing towards the same thing. Another word, Anantam. Anantam means limitless. So something that's not limited in time, therefore eternal. Something that's not located or limited in space, therefore all-pervasive. Something that's not limited as an object, which means it's only this and not that. In which case, there's no object different from that reality. That means non-dual. So all-pervasive, eternal, non-dual. If you expand the word limitless, it becomes that. So the word Anantam, limitless, means the word vast, means the word Puurnam, complete. Each of these words, it's a seed which contains the whole of Vedanta, the whole of Advaita Vedanta. You can expand it from that. In fact, recently, a few months back, I was in India in one of our educational institutions, Narendrapura College. And they took me on a tour of they had a gallery called the Zero Gallery. The Zero Gallery is basically the story of how zero was invented in ancient India. You know, the ancient Hindus came up with zero. And so it's a story of zero. Zero in the Mayan civilization, zero in the Babylonian civilization, until it took the form which we use it today, the zero. In the sense that we use it and the form in which we use it, zero. And in the panels there was one panel where the Sanskrit word for zero was introduced, Shunya. Shunyam. And then I learned something which I didn't know earlier. It said grammatically, the word Shunya, which means zero, empty. And of course, there's a whole very sophisticated philosophy of emptiness. The whole Tibetan school of the Madhyamaka Buddhism. I mean, that's an Indian Buddhist school, but based on that, you have the whole of Tibetan Buddhism. So they are the emptiness guys. It comes from Shunya. The word Shunya means empty. But the interesting thing which I learned was the Sanskrit root from which Shunya comes, Swi. And I was amazed to see it means to expand without limit. So literally, I mean, just in a literal sense, the emptiness is expansion without limit. The ultimate reality, Brahman, the vast, is expansion without limit. Infinity is expansion without limit. Puurnam is that which expands without limit to fill up everything. They all mean the same thing. And you can derive them to mean the same. They mean many other things also. But you can derive them to mean the same thing. And from that, you can derive the entirety of Vedanta. You can make it even shorter. One verse, half a verse. Our verse is Puurnamadah Puurnamidam. You can make it Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya, that verse. You can make it a short sentence, you are that, Tat Tvam Asi. You can make it even shorter, Puurnam, Brahma, Anantam. The word Vishnu as God. But in the commentary on the Vishnu Sahasranama, the word Vishnu also means that which is not limited by time, space, and object. Anantam. So again, it means the same thing, limitless. You can make it even shorter. Just Om. Om. You go to the Mandukya Upanishad, analyze Om, entirety of Vedanta will come out. Just from Om. You can make it even shorter. Don't say anything. Just a gesture. Yeah, just a gesture. This gesture is called the Chin Mudra. Yeah, a gesture. This gesture can communicate the entirety of Vedanta. Usually this is I, the ego, is identified with the physical body, the subtle body, and the causal body. Physical body, subtle body, and the causal body. So this is our usual state. But when I realize I'm not the physical body, I'm not the subtle body, I'm not the causal body, that means I'm not body-mind, then the I will naturally point towards pure consciousness. Then I am the witness consciousness. And that's the meaning. That's what you derive from Vedanta. Just this gesture. Chin Mudra, the gesture communicating pure consciousness. That I am pure consciousness. You can make it even more brief. And that's just silence. Don't say anything. Maunam Vyakhyanam. In Dakshinamurti Stotra, it is said the teacher sat in silence and the students sat around the teacher and the doubts of the students were dissolved. Ramana Maharshi would do that often. The people would go to him. But it wouldn't make much of a talk if I sat in silence. So let's dive a little bit into this Puurnamadah Puurnamidam Puurnamadah. It's actually a Shanti mantra, and it's associated with the Śukla Yajurveda. Each of the Vedas has its own particular Shanti mantra, peace chant, and the Śukla Yajurveda has this peace chant. So any of the Upanishads which come from that Veda, they will always have this peace chant. When we study Isha Upanishad, we start with Puurnamadah Puurnamidam. When we study Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, the biggest of the Upanishads, we start with Puurnamadah Puurnamidam. And in fact, in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad itself, in the beginning of the 5th chapter, there is this verse. It's part of the Upanishad. And there Shankaracharya writes a detailed commentary on it, explains what it means. Very beautiful, profound commentary on that. So I'll use some of that, and we'll take a quick, deep dive. We are all Vedantins here, so we will know more or less what's going on here. Let's explore. We're going to jump into the pool at the deep end. But I will leave some time for question answers, so don't worry if some of it sounds obscure or I don't quite get that. Or it all means that you are that. That's all it means. There was this nice old gentleman, Swami Vivekananda used to call him Doki. And when Vivekananda would talk about Vedanta, there would be other disciples around him. And this elderly gentleman who was much older than Vivekananda himself. At the end of everything, he would say, "But I am Brahman, right? I am that." And Vivekananda would say, "Yes, Doki, you are Brahman." And sometimes he would come late for breakfast and Vivekananda would say, "There comes Brahman now." Yes, so doesn't matter if a particular point is obscure. You're Brahman. That's the whole takeaway from all of this. Puurnamadah Puurnamidam Purnat Puurnamudachyate. That is Puurnam, this is Puurnam. That is infinite, this is infinite. Now when we use the words that and this, that usually refers to something distant. That person and this person. So that is usually there. It would be very odd to say that person and this person. No, that person and this person. Something that is proximate and something that is distant. So usually the ultimate reality, the transcendent, God, is what is usually referred to by that. That which we don't see, which we don't hear, smell, taste, touch, that which we cannot directly interact with, that which we take on faith or speculate about. We find it in religion or metaphysics or philosophy. It's that. And what is this? This. What I'm seeing and what I'm interacting with, what we have to deal with, this is this. And that is distant, not proximate. And now what does this mantra tell us? It tells us the first stunning thing. That is Puurnam, this is Puurnam. That is the infinite, this is the infinite. You say, so? That sounds cool, but what's the amazing thing about it? Notice there cannot be two infinites. There's a trick. This is the beauty of the teacher. They point these things out. When you use words like that and this, something is set up in our minds which is a duality. It sort of puts a seed of two-ness in our mind. That is one thing and this is another thing. So that's somehow infinite and this is somehow infinite. No. Here is the first amazing thing about this statement. The infinite can only be one. Puurnam can only be one. Why? Because, don't go into mathematics. In mathematics there are many infinities. There are infinite infinities. But philosophically speaking, from a Vedantic perspective, the infinite can only be one because there is nothing else beside the infinite. If there was something else beside the infinite, whatever it is, it would limit the infinite, and so that the infinite would no longer be the infinite. It would be the infinite minus that thing which is outside the infinite. So the infinite cannot exclude anything. If the infinite excludes anything, it's not the infinite. If the Puurnam excludes anything, it becomes apurnam, not full. So the Puurnam of the infinite can only be one. Now it becomes interesting. That is Puurnam, this is Puurnam, but they are both the same Puurnam. And therefore, that and this, that Puurnam which is here and the Puurnam which is that transcendent, they are one and the same. They are not different. Why do we use that and this? Because it seems to be transcendent. Something is far away, ultimate reality, Brahman, and this world, which seems to be proximate. This mantra tells us both are the same thing. It gives us this identity. That the proximate and the distant are not different. There is a deep underlying oneness. This identity is established in this first statement. In fact, what this first statement says, what it means is Tat Tvam Asi. Is you are that, Tat Tvam Asi. This is a deep dive into Vedantic inquiry. The whole teaching of Vedanta is you are that, Tat Tvam Asi. But what does you mean and what does that mean? You is very easy to understand. You means us, just individual sentient beings, the inquirer, the spiritual seeker. I, you. That's what you means, the sentient being, the human being, the jiva. And that means the source of this universe, the God of religion, from which everything has come, in which everything exists, into which everything will disappear finally. And there is a great difference between the two. Sentient beings like us are many. Look at us. There's so many of us. Billions of us. And that is one. God is one. There's one ultimate reality. Sentient beings like us, we are limited. I'm here and you are there. You are not here, I'm not there. We are all separate from each other. But God, the source of everything, the ultimate reality, is not limited, is limitless. God is all powerful. This is religious language. God is all powerful. Sarva Shaktiman. We are so weak. God is all knowing, omniscient. We have very little knowledge. I'm translating from the Sanskrit, Sarvagya, Alpagya, and so on and so forth. So there is a great difference between God and the individual being. Between us, between the wave and the ocean. There's a great difference. Tremendous difference. And what does this Upanishad, what does it tell us? It negates that obvious fact. The fact which seems to be obvious, it negates it. This is no. Both are the same. What you are and what that is are both are the same. Tat Tvam Asi. How is that possible? You have to find out something underlying which is common to both. Not the apparent differences. It's like saying, you go to a Broadway show and the emperor comes out, dressed gorgeously and delivering royal dialogues and all of that. After some time, the beggar comes out, dressed in rags, a homeless guy. And then somebody tells you next to you, the emperor is the beggar. And immediately you understand what is meant, that the same actor is acting as the emperor and as the beggar. He's going into the green room and changing his dress and coming back, speaking in a new way, acting in a new way with a new dress. The only difference is in the dress, in the dialogue. But the reality behind both is one and the same reality. So what this is telling us is, there is something which has dressed up in royal robes as the emperor of the universe, and is the God of religion, the one God worshipped by religion. The discovery of the theistic religions of the world, that there is an ultimate power behind all of this. And this mantra does not deny that. He says, yes, that's true. But what I'm saying is I'm going beyond that. It is that same reality which is dressed up as millions and billions of sentient beings and is playing out this drama, which is called samsara, life. Both are the same reality. This is the first extraordinary message that this mantra gives us. In the first quarter of the mantra, Puurnamadah Puurnamidam. Ada, those who are into Vedanta, Saguna Brahman, Ishvara, Bhagavan, God of religions. Idam, Jiva. It means Jiva and Jagat, this world, but it specifically means the sentient being, you. You are Puurnam, God is Puurnam. Puurnam dressed up in that way is God, Puurnam dressed up in this way is you. Swami Vivekananda said the universe is God objectified. And to that I added, the Jiva is God subjectified. But the central thing, that Puurnam is the same. It appears as this universe and us, and as the God of this universe. So this is the first quarter we get the great identity. Puurnamadah Puurnamidam. The whole of Vedanta is there. But now comes the question that what is the relationship between this and that? I'm just reminded of Sri Ramakrishna. If you look at Sri Ramakrishna's life, his quest, the first quest if you see in his life is a quest for God. Does God exist? So he comes as this young priest to the temple of Kali. Again, remember, God as female, the Divine Mother, on the bank of the Ganga near Calcutta. And he's appointed as the priest of Kali there. But his quest is not just formal worship. Is this real? Or is it a stone image? And so he worships. He does all the sadhana that is prescribed in the texts, all that he can learn from different teachers. We often read about Sri Ramakrishna, how he wept. He cried for the mother to reveal herself to him. But it's not that he just wept. He did everything that could be done. Whatever people told him or whatever the tradition told him, this is the way to worship the Divine Mother. He did all that with all sincerity. The ritualistic worship, the mantra japa, the meditation, the prayer, all of that he did. And of course, the absolutely impeccable ethical life underlying all of that. And yet he did not get the vision of Kali. But after some time, that intense striving culminated in a vision. So notice, at that point, he had completely forgotten about the world, about people, about himself also. It was all entirely focused on that. And so he finally had what his heart cherished, a vision of the Divine Mother. Not just once, more and more and more often. And not just as the Divine Mother Kali. He diversified. How is this reality experienced in different traditions? In the Vaishnava tradition, there itself in the Dakshineshwar temple, there was the temple of Radha and Krishna. There itself in the Dakshineshwar temple, there were temples of Shiva. And he experienced the same reality again and again, but in extraordinarily different ways, as promised by those traditions. In the Shaivite tradition, in the Shakta tradition, which was his home tradition. For him, beginning to end, his home tradition was God is Mother, it's Kali. But in the Shakta tradition, in the Vaishnavite tradition, in the other traditions of, they were the Sikh soldiers who were there near Dakshineshwar at that time. They would come to him and talk about Sikhism. The Christians, he investigated how Christians worship God and experience God. Muslims, he practiced Islam. And when he did that, he would, as Vivekananda later said, empty the bucket, throw out everything. He didn't mix and match. He had this extraordinary, tremendous mind unparalleled in one sense. He could empty out every other samskara and throw himself into a new way of thinking and worshipping. And then in short order, he would have powerful mystical experiences. So he did that. Advaita Vedanta, his Advaita Guru, Totapuri, in the heights of Nirvikalpa Samadhi, attaining that which is beyond all form, the Puurnam itself. Now one would think that's the end of his quest. That's where he should stop. He's got what he wanted. But no, a new madness takes over. Now he turns around that which he had left behind, people, this world. He turns around and he says, where are you all, my children? Come unto me. To finding the divine in the human now. There is a distinct switch then, if you see in his life. After the initial years of sadhana, now turns around, he asks for the disciples to come, shares his experiences, and takes a great interest in spreading his spiritual experiences which he has gained among people in Calcutta, everywhere. That was his life for the rest of his life. Why? For us it might look like a switch, but for him it's not a switch. He has explained, he goes to the roof of the house, and then what he finds in the roof of the house, now he takes a look back at what he had abandoned. The staircase and the first floor and the ground floor, and he finds the entire house is made of the same thing which the roof is made of. But this is just Puurnamadah Puurnamidam. That which is the Puurnam, you have found that. Now look back upon this, you will find the same Puurnam. So Ramakrishna says that having reached the roof of the house, you turn back and you see the rest of the house is made of the same thing. You find the divinity not only with eyes closed, but with eyes open. Not only beyond names and forms as the absolute Brahman, or in divine names and forms as Kali, as Shiva, as Vishnu, as Krishna and Radha, and in different religious traditions, different religions, but also back in the manifested world, in the idam, in this, the same reality. Now you see Puurnamadah Puurnamidam, with eyes closed, with eyes open. Because if you only have God with eyes closed, the absolute with eyes closed, one monk said, he said in Hindi, I'll translate, he said, Lo, apne pyare ko samadhi ke jail khane mein band kar diya. See, now you have locked away your beloved in the jail of samadhi. Only with eyes closed and blocking out the entire world, the beloved is available there. But open your... no, it's all gone. No. It's right here, but it is as idam. The Puurnam is now appearing as idam. We go further. The next quarter, Puurnamadah Puurnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. What's the relationship between that and this? If we look a little deep into what's going on in this mantra, the first part, Puurnamadah Puurnamidam, that is Puurnam and this is Puurnam, is the absolute. It's talking about the absolute. But the next quarter, from that Puurnam, this Puurnam has come. They're talking about the God of religion. The Nirguna Brahman and the Saguna Brahman. In all religions, what's the common definition of God? In all religions, the theistic religions. There's a common definition. The common definition is God is that from which everything has come. God is the creator. Or in Hinduism, you have God as the creator, the preserver, and the destroyer. Now it says this, Purnat Purnamudachyate. From that Purnam, this Purnam has arisen. That is the cause, this is the effect. God is, in the philosophical language, cause and effect. In theological language, God, creator, and this world, the created. From here comes this thing, this just a short sentence. All of religion and science, everything is based on this. This is, in philosophical sense, it is causality. But he is talking about causality. There is a cause and there is an effect. Every action has consequences. Every effect has a cause. And this entire universe has a cause. That is the beginning of religion. That's how religion started. Professor J.N. Mohanty, in one place, he says, notice, the motivation, the prime motivation behind religion and science are not different. If you ask what, why, how, what is the cause of all of this? One approach was through religion. And a more modern and sophisticated approach is through science. We're trying to find out the cause of all of this. The cause is always imperceptible. The seed is the cause. The effect is in front of you. The cause seems to be homogeneous, and the effect is in the big tree. You have leaves and branches and fruits and flowers. In the seed, you don't have leaves and branches and fruits and flowers. Everything is in the potential form. It's there, it's in potential form. So, in the creator of the universe, the entire universe is there in the potential form, in the other, in that. And the idam, this one, it's all manifested. You can see here the roots and branches and leaves and flowers and fruits. Here it is this manifested universe. And then what is the relationship between the two? What is the relationship between cause and effect? The effects have arisen from the cause, they exist in the cause, and they disappear back into the cause. What is creation? In Vedanta, creation is just the cause manifesting as the effect. The seed blossoming forth as the tree. And in what is existence? The effect existing in the cause. When I use language like effect existing in the cause, it sounds dry. What does it mean? It just means this table is the effect. Wood is the cause. Wood is the material out of which this table is made. Now, you'll say, where does this table come from? From the wood. Where does this table exist? Swami, it exists in front of you. Yes, but you know what a philosopher would say? The table exists in the wood. It's not that there is wood in the table. It's not that there's a table and it's been stuffed with wood. Rather, it's the wood which has been given a name and a form and a function, and that's what we call a table. So the effect, the table, exists in the cause, the material cause, the wood. And one day, if the table is broken and sold off as scrap, what remains? The wood. So manifesting from the cause, the effect manifesting from the cause, means new form, new name, new transactions, new use, and existing in the cause in that sense, and going back to the cause. What is destruction? Going back to the cause. No longer table, it's again wood. The table has been destroyed. Table was created, table existed, table is destroyed. Arising from the cause, existing in the cause, going back to the cause. And Vedanta says this entire universe has arisen from Brahman. It exists in Brahman. And in one day it goes back to Brahman. That is Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya. The whole cosmology of creation, existence, destruction. All very interesting. You have all theology there. So if we are the effect, God is the cause, then you set up a relationship. The cause is always more powerful. It's at our source. God is our source. God is our creator. God is one. We are many. God is all powerful. We are minimally powerful, and so on and so forth. So we have a relationship with God. Maybe devotee and the Lord, servant and the master, or whatever. We set up a relationship. But this is religion. And also science. Cause and effect is science. Causality is science. Causality is science. This is also the law of karma. Cause and effect. From that, this has come. That being, this exists. That not being, this will not exist. But, again, the next amazing thing which this mantra does. Purnat Puurnamudachyate. What is the cause? Puurnam. What is the effect? Puurnam. So? It does something very interesting. Look at the language we used earlier. Cause and effect, 2 words. Seed and tree, 2 words. God and the universe, 2 words. That and this, 2 words. But the mantra is telling us, no, that and this are both the same thing, Puurnam. Cause and effect are both the same thing, Puurnam. What it is doing is very subversive. It is saying causality is not real. The first part of it, which it said, Puurnamadah Puurnamidam, that is Puurnam, this is Puurnam. What did it say? Difference is not real. And now what is it saying? Causality is not real. Nothing has really happened. When the universe was created from God and exists in God and disappears back into God, ultimately, in an absolute sense, there is only one reality, which always was. Nothing changed there. Causality, it denies causality. It says there is an absolute beyond causality, and that absolute is called Puurnam. That Puurnam is what you call the cause, and exactly the same Puurnam is what you call the effect. Therefore, between cause and effect, what happened? Nothing. Nothing has happened. Just the Puurnam remains. Those who are into advanced Vedanta, you'll immediately notice Puurnamadah Puurnamidam. That is Puurnam and this is Puurnam. This is what is called in Vedanta Swarupa Lakshana of Brahman, the intrinsic nature of that ultimate reality, that is existence, consciousness, bliss. It's pointing towards that. And this second part, Purnat Puurnamudachyate, from the Purna, this Purna has come. This is pointing to the Tatastha Lakshana of Brahman, the incidental definition of Brahman. What is the incidental definition of Brahman? What do you mean by essential definition, incidental definition? Very briefly. The essential definition of something is, what is it actually? Define it as it is. Brahman, the ultimate reality, can be best defined as existence, consciousness, bliss. Or in the Upanishad, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Brahman is infinite existence, consciousness. That's called the essential definition of Brahman. What it really is in its real nature. And what is the incidental definition of Brahman? It's like the classic example of you point out your house to your friend. There are a lot of apartments which look alike. And your friend asks you, which is your apartment? And you say, where the bird is sitting, that's my apartment. Now the bird is not part of your apartment. The bird is just happens to be there right now. And it can fly away. It makes no difference to your apartment. But it did serve a purpose. Now your friend knows the apartment. It knows which is your apartment. Similarly, the stunning claim in Vedanta is this universe, which we are experiencing right now. It's like the bird sitting on the apartment. The apartment being Brahman. This universe is entirely incidental, accidental to Brahman. Has nothing to do with the ultimate reality. I mean, it's so mind-blowing because this universe is all that we know. Our worlds are all that we know. The people around us are all that we know. This body and mind is all that we know. And the whole thing is being dismissed as saying it's like a bird sitting on an apartment. The apartment is the reality. And so just as the apartment was pointed out with the help of the bird sitting on the apartment, the ultimate reality, Brahman, Atman, your own reality, is being pointed out with the help of this universe. This universe, from which it comes, in which it exists, into which it finally disappears, that is Brahman. That's the incidental definition of Brahman. That's just the second quarter. We might say at this point, okay, all this sounds cool, remarkably esoteric, nice philosophy. What's it to me? What am I supposed to do with all this? And what do I get out of it? So what am I supposed to do with all this is the third quarter of the mantra. Purnasya Puurnamadaya. When in this jiva we discover the infinitude, then what happens? The result. Puurnam eva vashishyate. The infinity alone remains. So the third quarter of it, discovering the infinitude in ourselves. Purnasya Puurnamadaya. Why do I say discovery? The word discovery is not there. Adaya means attaining, realizing, coming to, getting. Getting has two meanings. You can get something or I get it now, understand something. So here it means realization, getting it in the second sense. Why so? If I am already that Puurnam, if that is the only thing that exists, then there's no question of attaining anything. It's already attained. You are that anyway. What's the new thing which you can attain? Then the only thing that remains to be done, if anything at all remains to be done, the only thing that remains to be done is to realize it, is to come to realize it. Ah, I see. That's what I am. And so the whole of the Vedantic methodology is packed into this. Purnasya Puurnamadaya. In the jiva, when we inquire into ourselves, since the Puurnam is right here, I should be able to find the Puurnam right here. The inquiry into who am I or what am I is indicated here. Purnasya Puurnamadaya. And the method of inquiry, many methods are set up in Vedanta. The method of the seer and the seen, method of the 5 layers of the human personality, Panchakosha Viveka, the method of the 3 states of waking, dreaming, sleeping. All of them are just Purnasya Puurnamadaya. And of course, surrounding them are all the techniques, all the methods, the way of bhakti, the way of meditation, action, all of that designed. The purpose of all of that is Purnasya Puurnamadaya. They say Vedanta only gives you what you already have. And Vedanta only takes away what was never there. Praptasya prapti. Purna is already there. And that's what Vedanta gives you. It's just that we feel a Puurnam. And what is the result of this? What's the result of all this? If I do come to realize I am the Puurnam, I am Brahman, I am Vishnu, I am not this body-mind, I am that absolute. What happens then? Notice what happens when we feel apurnam. Apurnam means not complete, not infinite. When we feel small, then what happens? Fear arises. That the existence of the other, there is something other than me. Something different, someone, something, all different from me. I am a tiny creature in a vast universe. And I don't even question that. If I am a tiny creature in the vast universe, I'm certainly not Puurnam. And I look towards being Puurnam. And I'm afraid of this, the other. Upanishad says, Dvitiyad vai bhayam bhavati. If there is a second reality apart from you, independent from you, separate from you, fear. The first reaction is fear. And then desire or aversion. Either I want it to complete myself, or I see it as an obstruction in my fullness, and I want to avoid it, reduce it. Likes and dislikes, cravings and hatreds. These all arise. So first fear arises from the other. The French philosopher who said hell is other people. Hell is Sartre. Yeah, hell is other people. That otherness. Even if they are not hell, they are your most beloved person. You know what is at the root of that beloved person? Fear. You don't like being dependent on anybody. You don't like being dependent. The enemy makes you dependent. The beloved also makes you dependent. And at the root of both enemy and beloved is fear. Enemy definitely fear. But the beloved also fear. There's fear of loss. Yeah. So, fear, Puurnam, apurnam. And if I'm Puurnam, no fear. The Emperor Janaka, when he becomes enlightened, realizes I'm Puurnam. But his guru doesn't tell him that you're enlightened, you're Puurnam. He says, you have attained to fearlessness. Abhayam vai praptosi Janaka. Oh Janaka, you have attained to fearlessness. Enlightenment and fearlessness. The result is fearlessness. Cravings and hatreds, likes and dislikes, when we are apurnam. When we are Puurnam, what happens? A great sameness comes over us, all of us. Because in everything here, we see the underlying Puurnam. We see the same underlying limitless radiance appearing in everybody. No matter what position they hold with regard to you. To you as a person, they may behave badly. But deep inside, you will never think badly of them. You don't think that they are something different from you. The whole universe feels one with you. It's deeply intuitive. That's where love comes from, genuine love. There's a love which takes without giving. That's the animalistic, crude, insecure kind of love. A child can do that, can take without giving. But very soon, even the child has to learn to give. So there's higher than that is the love which takes and gives, a transactional love. Vivekananda called it a shopkeeping love. I gave and take. But higher than that is the unconditional love. Love without any conditions. It doesn't depend on what the one love does or says or behaves. It is unconditionally and freely given. When is that possible? It's possible only when there is, metaphysically speaking, there is a oneness. We have an unconditional love already for ourselves. Yes, we unconditionally love ourselves. We don't think about it. We unconditionally love ourselves. It's sort of a given. But when what this Puurnam does, it expands the self to the whole universe. So the unconditional love for this limited self now becomes this unconditional love for the universe, for everybody and everything. No longer limited to this little being. Puurnam. We go from apurnam to Puurnam. Our present condition in apurnam is a mixture of pleasure and pain. The more we feel a little complete for the time being, some pleasure, some contentment, some happiness. Again, we feel incomplete, we feel lacking, pain, unhappiness, fear. When we realize we are Puurnam, it becomes limitless fulfillment, which is called Ananda, which cannot be shaken. Sri Krishna says, getting which nothing greater remains to be got. And being centered in which the heaviest of sorrows cannot shake you. So getting which means this Puurnam. When you realize this, I am that, nothing greater remains to be gotten. That's it. The point of life has been realized. And centered in which the heaviest of sorrows cannot shake you. Which means Life will still continue. You'll still be back in that same identity, same body, mind, but now with the realization of Purnatva, that I am Purnam. I am all of this. One great master says, this body along with the universe is revealed to me at once. So either I am all of it or none of it. What we do is I am just this much, and then this is rest other than me. Then immediately I become Apurnam. But if I am all of it, it's Purnam. Even none of it is Purnam, worth thinking about. And the last part of it, once we realize this, then what happens? Purnam eva avashishyati. The Purnam alone remains. With eyes closed, Purnam, and none of it. With eyes open, Purnam, all of it. And then life is, it's done. What we started off, the goal, to realize that it is done. We arrive where we started, at ourself. It was a self with a small s, now it's a self with a big S. Good. I was told to leave 10 minutes for questions. Exactly 10 minutes. All right. Let's take, you raise your hands. There's somebody there. You have to be aggressive about raising your hands so that you can catch there behind you, right? Yes. Tell us your name and ask a question.
Can I hold this? Oh, yes. Hi, my name is Jack, and it's a pleasure to meet you. To see you in the flesh. I've seen you so many times on screen.
Virtually.
I've seen you so many times virtually, and it's like there he is, it's like, it's unreal. It's unreal. I see you playing hours and hours on his TV, and I know what you say is very true. And I am someone who does believe in the divine self, and I do believe that in this idea of what we are is, in a way, nothing, and at the same time, everything. And I was really moved by one thing you said about how the way that many people describe God in being this, or just love in general, as that people have... is when you love unwillingly and unconditionally. And I had never really thought about it, that it's in our nature for us to unconditionally love ourselves, which, kind of reveals a, I guess, maybe primal, almost instinct of selfishness, really. But it reminds me of something that's going on in my life currently with a friend who is having trouble loving himself, and he is just bashing himself down, and he has almost zero dignity for himself, and he is unable to forgive himself. And I want to know what you think that could be. Why is it that Brahman has kind of, he's put this veil over him, and he hasn't been able to recognize that he himself is divine.
Yes. And that's our condition. To some extent or the other, we don't see ourselves in this Puurnam, in this infinite nature. We see ourselves as limited. And so our love, our unconditional love for ourselves, it becomes a selfish love. Or it can even become self-hatred. If I limit myself even more, I'm imperfect in so many ways. And I wish I were perfect in some other ways, and then I begin to hate myself. Maybe I've done something very wrong, and I feel terrible about it. Or I wish I were different. I had some attributes of body, mind, personality, achievements. Then I would feel good about myself. So this is where we have invested in something incidental to us, and we want to change that, and then we'll feel happy, we think. If we won't, we'll feel a little better if we get what we wanted. But notice, apart from all that, just our own existence, bare existence itself, that is always a source of contentment to us. We like ourselves in general. There might be stuff which we might dislike about ourselves, some quality, some behavior, some attribute, and if we could fix that, then we would like ourselves again. But those are incidental. Our hatred, our dislike for ourselves is conditional. Our liking for ourselves is unconditional. Now, is it selfish? That's what people think. It's not an important fact. You're just talking about selfishness. But Vedanta says, wait a minute. Take a close look at the self. We don't know what the self is. And when we realize the self is this universal self, it is this oneness underlying everything, then what first looked as selfishness actually becomes the ground for unselfishness. If I am all of them, everybody, then there is no reason to prefer this particular body-mind over anybody else's needs. That is the very definition of complete unselfishness. So true understanding of the self leads to unselfishness. And misunderstanding of the self leads to selfishness. So what is a true understanding? Puurnam. What is a misunderstanding? Apuurnam, the limited. What is the true understanding? The unlimited. Usually we are stuck at the limited idea of the self. And the reason we are stuck at the limited idea of the self is we identify ourselves with this body and this mind. This seems to be the only thing that is obvious to us. I am this. Vedanta says the first thing we have to realize is I am not this. To step back from the body, mind and see, call it awareness, call it consciousness, call it spirit. We all admit we are consciousness. We are conscious. But we think we are bodies and minds with consciousness. Vedanta wants us to say you are consciousness with a body-mind. Your awareness in which a body-mind, a personality arises and floats around. But you are basically that awareness itself. And then in that sense, a oneness can be established with everybody. Then the main thing is the feeling of oneness with others. And from that, unselfishness comes. From that, all ethics comes. See, the unselfishness which we try as a person, and there are all these others, and I have to be unselfish, it's a forced kind of unselfishness. I have to make an effort for that. Whereas, if I am all, then this enlightened selfishness is greater than the greatest unselfishness. It basically becomes the unconditional love for everybody, because I am one with everybody. Yes.
Babu.
Yes.
Hi. I have two questions, Swami G. I hope I can express this correctly. You speak of wakefulness.
Speak of what?
Wakeful state.
The wakeful state, yes.
And dream state, and sleep state, and then Turiya. And where then from Turiya we go to this all-pervading consciousness, all-pervading everywhere. I cannot seem to... I'm missing something, making an intellectual jump there.
All right, so let me address that question first. The question is that I sort of get it when you say that I am the one consciousness. Because it's in me, the awareness that I experience this wakeful world and my dreams, and even in a sense, deep sleep is also experienced in consciousness. That I am consciousness, this I sort of can come to an understanding. That's what you're saying. But how is this consciousness everything? That's what you're asking.
Where does Turiya go from this state of my consciousness, my being, to all-pervading? Where do we make that?
Where does it go from? How does it go from this my being to the all-pervading? All right. Now, if the first thing to do in Vedanta, we are talking about the third quarter of the mantra, Purnasya Puurnamadaya, this jiva, inquiring within, now comes to my being as consciousness. You're with me? Now step back and stay there. Instead of my being as a body, instead of my being as this personality, with its quirks, with its history, with its memories, I step back from that into my being as consciousness. And you spoke about wakefulness, dreaming, and deep sleep. In that case, in me, the consciousness, I experience a state where I am awake, experiencing an apparently external world through senses, wakefulness. Where is it experienced? In that consciousness. It's no longer I am in a world of waking. Rather, the world of waking is experienced in consciousness, what you are calling the Turiya. In consciousness, the world of waking is experienced. Then in an instant, that disappears. And a world of dreams comes. Where? In consciousness. And then that disappears, and nothing comes in its place. Deep sleep. Where? In consciousness. What are you? What are you? I'm asking you.
What you're teaching us...
No. I'm not teaching you. if you are saying that you are okay with at least understanding that I am the Turiya, I am Turiya, I am consciousness. So I am Turiya, I am consciousness. And just now I said, you can conceive of the whole waking state appearing in you as Turiya. Not you in this body. The body and the world appearing in Turiya. And the dream world appearing in Turiya. And nothing at all appearing in Turiya. All three appear and disappear in Turiya. Then what are those except appearances and disappearances in Turiya? Can we say Turiya itself is appearing in those ways? We can't say?
Everything is appearing
in Turiya, yes. So everything is not other than Turiya. We have no evidence that it exists apart separately from Turiya. In that case, can we say Turiya alone is everything? Can we say that? Can we say Turiya appeared as the waking person and the waking world? Can we say Turiya, you the Turiya, you appeared as the dream person and your dream world? Can we say you the Turiya appeared as the absence, the blankness of deep sleep? You can say that. In that case, you the Turiya are all of that. They are not other than you. Just as after waking up from a dream, when you look back upon the dream, you must admit that the you which you were there in the dream and whatever you experienced in the dream, the subject and the object, both were you the dreamer. In the same sense, you the Turiya are your waking, your dreaming, your deep sleep. You can expand on that when you're using the Mandukya framework. In the waking state, there is a subject and there is an object. The subject is you, and the object is this entire universe. That's the waking state. In the dream state, you are there as a dream subject and a dream world. In a deep sleep state, the subject and object are merged into blankness. There is no experiencer and experienced. And I'm saying all three pairs, subject and object in three states, are appearances and disappearances in you, the Turiya.
I do understand that everything is being experienced by the consciousness.
By consciousness, yes. But we just moved a little further than that. I'm saying in consciousness.
In consciousness.
Yes.
But from there, how do we jump?
To?
This consciousness is all pervading.
All means, isn't the all being experienced in consciousness? What is all? All space, all time, all objects. That's what you mean by all, isn't it? The all of the waking, the all of the dream, and the all of the deep sleep, are they not appearing and disappearing in you every day? I mean, I won't even use days, because days is also part of time. So all time, space, and objects in waking, dreaming, and deep sleep, they are appearing and disappearing in you, the Turiya. From there to saying Turiya is all of this is child's play or Turiya play. Think about it. But always do this. Think about it from the perspective of Turiya, not from the perspective of a body and a mind in a waking world. Then only it'll click. That's the perspective. Oh, the second question. Okay, we have a couple of other questions.
Hi, I'm Sanchari, and I stay here and I'm following you, and I can believe that I am visualizing you for the first time in my life.
Well, you're not visualizing me, you're seeing me.
Yeah,
I remember a few years ago, I was in Delhi, in our New Delhi ashram in New Delhi, and I saw two young boys at a distance near the garden there. They're talking about me. I just came out of the monastery, and one of them was saying to the other, "Oh, dekho, bola na real hai." Look at him. I told you he was real.
Yeah.
Yes, so I am real here.
Yeah,
Yes,
actually, I have been to the Golpak Ramakrishna Mission last year, 2025 November, but we could not meet you in the main hall. It was so overcrowded, and I can't believe that we are listening here with so proximity. But yeah, so coming to the question, so there is a word called swaham, sa-aham, right? And
a word.
There is the Sanskrit word, right?
Soham.
And then we have Tat Tvam Asi, right?
Yes.
So do they mean the same thing?
The same thing. They mean the same thing.
Okay.
Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. I am that, or I am he, or that you are that. They all mean the same thing. They mean an identity. And that's the first quarter of the Puurnamadah Puurnamidam. Puurnamadah Puurnamidam means that Soham or Tat Tvam Asi.
Okay. The second question I have is, when you attain this realization of fulfillment, what is the best way to manifest it?
It will manifest. It's a good question. Manifestation is what is called in Vedanta Jivan Mukti. And it's a good question because Swami Vivekananda does not say religion is knowing these things or understanding these things or even experiencing these things. He says it's the manifestation of the divinity within us. He even goes further and says to realize the divinity within us and how to manifest it in every movement of life. He said to teach that is the goal of my life. So the manifestation is extremely important. It must actually come to our lives and solve our problems. It should solve my problems and should be of help to others also. That is manifestation. That's called Jivan Mukti. And a good way to see how it is manifested, you look at the lives of whom you consider enlightened. Look at the lives of Thakur, Swami G, Vivekananda and the direct disciples and the saints and sages of all the traditions of the world. Yeah, that's the manifestation. Yes.
Hi, Swami. My name's Linda. And my question is, if someone reaches a state of realization, awareness, does it affect the world around them, like the world?
Yes, it does. You become a force for good. Mm-hmm. You become a force for great force for good. You become a blessing, first of all, a blessing to yourself and a blessing to others around you. Yes. Tell me when we have run out of time. Yes.
Yeah, my name is Urpita. My question is that in Kathamrita, Thakur says that in Kali Yuga, it's best to stay best to stay with a bhakti bhav and guru and shishya that bhav. So is it okay to think when I'm meditating or other time that I am Brahman or Tat Tvam Asi or Soham?
Sure, but it depends. If you have been initiated into a particular tradition, one must follow that tradition carefully. Don't meddle with that. That I have been given a mantra, I have been given an Ishta Devata. Now today I heard Puurnamadah Puurnamidam. So let me throw out the mantra and the poor Ishta Devata and now bring in Puurnamadah Puurnamidam. Now don't do that. I always say there's a computer science term called a firewall. So build a firewall around your mantra and the Ishta Devata as the Guru has given. And that must be pursued lifelong. At other times one can listen, think about it. In Vedanta I say it's much better, start by listening. Yes. And the next step should be getting it, what is being said. Don't jump ahead to practice anything. First listen, what is being said really? Download this stuff into yourself. And then begin to see whether it applies. Apply it to life, to yourself. And see, apply it means internally. And make that shift. When you get it, the manifestation will come by itself. Till that point, all the practices which are indicated, given by the Guru, should be held on to meticulously. Otherwise, it won't come. Yeah. Yes.
My name is Mind Banerjee. I was curious, does this consciousness, does this still stay after you die? Does it go on to your next life and over and over and over again?
Answer is yes. But you might say, why would you ask that? Why is death at all incident? We all have this question. All this is great. Somebody would say, all this is great, Swami, but the moment you die, it's lights out. None of this fancy consciousness talk. Consciousness will go. When you go to sleep, consciousness is gone. When you get general anesthesia, consciousness is gone. And when you die, consciousness will be gone. No. Behind that lies a very, there's a hidden assumption there that this consciousness is being produced by the brain. Why do I say when you die, the consciousness will be gone? Because we have made up our minds or our brains that consciousness is being produced. Mind and consciousness both are products of the brain. But that is precisely the big debate today, the so-called hard problem of consciousness, that we are unable to explain how or if at all the brain can produce consciousness. So now assume that the brain does not produce consciousness. So if the brain does not produce consciousness, then when the body dies, the brain will also be destroyed. But that does not mean consciousness is destroyed, because in the first place, consciousness was not produced by the brain. It just wouldn't be manifested there. It's just like I always say, like this door. We have all come in through this door. If somebody says, this door is amazing, look at how many people it has produced. All people emerge from this door and they disappear back into the door. The door is the great source of all people. No. The door is just what the people walk through it. And we can learn something about the people by looking at the door. We can see what size people are. We can make an approximate understanding of that. But that's all. So maybe the brain is a channel for mind and consciousness. That's what Vedanta would say. It's the physical substrate, like the hardware of your computer. But your programs, your data, they can be in the cloud. They can be downloaded into the computer. You can work with it. When your computer fails or your iPad fails, if your data is backed up, then you can get another device and it will be downloaded again. And so our minds, the personalities which we are, have been downloaded time and again into multiple bodies. The bodies keep changing, but we are the same entity. And beyond that same entity is this consciousness which we are talking about. It's not even the body, it's not even the mind, something beyond that.
Pranam Swami G. My name is Aruna.
Yes.
And my question is not related to Puurnamadah, but it's from Gita. Bhagavan says...
Everything is related to Puurnamadah.
that striyo vaishyas tatha shudrate piyanti parangati, and striyo vaishyas tatha sudra pap yoni. Brahman is the punya yoni, and even Shankaracharya's commentary also I read that is pap yoni. Why it's pap yoni and striyo vaishyas tatha shudra?
Yes, but they're all Puurnam. So that's the whole point of Puurnamadah Puurnamidam. Everybody is Puurnam. Why just human beings? Dogs and cats and the devatas in heavens and the demons in hells, all are Puurnam. If you put on a particular dress and you're acting out a particular role, that doesn't mean you are that only. You can act out multiple roles. So the actor is free of the roles he or she acts in. And the particular thing you're asking about, there are explanations of that. That depending on the society, women were at one time greatly disadvantaged. I mean, to deny that would be to deny history. So if I'm born a woman, and here are all these wonderful philosophies, first of all, they will not teach it to me because I'm a woman, or I'm not allowed to have education because I'm a woman. Then it's a disadvantage. Already the society has put me at a disadvantage. Or if I am a laborer or a trader, and only the Brahmins are allowed to study all this, then I'm not allowed to study all that. So I'm at a disadvantage already. That's a particular circumstance of society, and that circumstance can change. And it has changed tremendously, especially over the last century. It's just because we lack historical sense, we don't realize how it has changed in 100 years, especially for women. Especially for the historian, Yuval Noah Harari, in that book, Sapiens, he says that Queen Victoria was the Queen of England. Let us not forget, yes, a woman was the queen of the empire. She was at the head of the empire. But all the ministers under her were men. All the generals of the army and the admirals of the navy and the captains of the ships and the sailors in the ships, they were all men. All the teachers and the professors in Oxford and Cambridge were men, and the students were all men. All the architects and the writers and the poets, almost all of them were men. And nobody thought it was weird. We have lost the historical sense completely. We have forgotten how dramatically society has changed in the last 100 years or so. So imagine a text being written, a teaching being given 1,000 years or 2,000 years ago in India or anywhere. And there Krishna says, in fact, what he says is a message of hope. No matter if you are born in a disadvantaged position in society, whether it's because of race or because of gender or because of economic position or whatever position you're in, maybe age, maybe prosperity, maybe somebody's poor. What Krishna is saying, no matter what your social or economic disadvantage, you have equal right to enlightenment. You are equally the same ultimate reality, Puurnam. And that, I think, is a tremendous message of Vedanta. And even, modern humanity studies, they won't understand. They only see, Shankara is talking about caste here. But look at the teaching, the actual teaching of that. It's utterly subversive to caste and society. It's talking about the ultimate oneness of everybody and everything. literally, and oneness in the highest sense, in the highest, most spiritual sense. Yeah, and that doesn't mean we should not make changes to society. We should. And see, we have made some changes last 200 years or so. It's a tremendous change. Yes.
Puurnam, Swami G, thank you for your teaching.
Last question.
So my name is Shankar.
Yes.
So if we imagine beginning with a Sankhyan view of the world,
yes,
and then proceeding towards non-dualism, it seems like there are multiple dualisms that get negated along the way.
Yes.
One is the pluralism, the plurality of Purushas. And I can see the soteriological and ethical value of this negation, because even at that stage, I'm no longer thinking of myself as just this small individual jiva. And then maybe I'll be less attached to my particular ego.
Yes.
But then there's a second negation, which is the relationship between consciousness and the world.
Yes.
Like negating the metaphysical division of those two. Can you speak a little bit about the soteriological and ethical value of that negation? Because it seems like much of the disputes between the various non-dualisms are in the way that negation is carried out, and even the entire Puurnam, Shunyam dialectic is there. Yeah.
Yes. That can be tackled at two levels. One is a very deep technical level. I'll just touch upon it. But before that, the debates, there are enormous debates in Indian philosophy, some of which precede, some of which you can see in the Brahma Sutras. So, in the Brahma Sutras, after the first 4 sutras, from the 5th sutra onwards, the issue is actually the fight between Sankhya and Vedanta. Vedanta, not just Advaita, all schools of Vedanta in general. Sankhya makes a very clear distinction between consciousness and object, between spirit and matter. You are spirit, everything else is matter. And the universe is basically material. And you are spirit, distinct from the universe. And you're distinct from everybody else also, because they are all, I think it was a German philosopher, Leibniz, who said, all souls are like these stars shining in the dark sky, eternally separated from each other, but points of light in this vast darkness. Sankhyan idea is something like that. The Purushas are many. And Vedanta says, no. Our very idea of causality, see how deeply these are connected. Causality is negated here in Puurnamadah Puurnamidam. Our very idea of causality says the cause continues in the effect. If Brahman, so what is the cause of this material universe? And the Upanishads in one voice, they say the cause of the material universe is not matter. The cause of the material universe is Brahman. And Brahman is also understood as consciousness. So consciousness, spirit, is the cause of a material universe. And then you have particular interpretations of that. So the big debate between Sankhya on one side and Vedanta on the other side is the status, first of all, are there many consciousnesses? That's a secondary issue really. The main issue is, what is this universe? And Sankhya, in one sense, is very materialistic. It says that this universe is a material universe and its cause is also material, Prakriti. There's a seed cause of this, and that's a material cause. It's not spirit. It's different from you. Whereas Vedanta says the cause of this material universe is Brahman. In the dualistic schools of Vedanta, the quasi-monistic schools like Vishishta Advaita Vedanta, that is seen as God is the cause of this universe. And God in some form transforms into this material universe. There it gets very tricky. Because in that case, Sankhya is very elegant. The material universe is material. It's all perfections, imperfections, everything remains on the material side. Whereas you, the spirit, as pure spirit, you are perfect. You have no touch of the imperfections of the material world. But if you say the spirit of Brahman is transforming itself into this material universe, it raises all kinds of tricky questions. How can the changeless become the changeful? How can the pure become the impure? Does the pure become the impure at all? How does Brahman retain its purity, its transcendent nature, if it is implicated in this terrible universe? All those and there are many answers to that. Some will say the power of Brahman is transformed into this universe. It's a Shakti. Some will say it's an inconceivable identity in difference. All this different universe is Brahman, but Brahman is also an identity which is not affected by this difference, and the relationship between this identity and difference is inconceivable. So, like this, they struggle to answer that. Now, this is the first pass at your question. These are the issues, and these are debated hotly. Advaita Vedanta, you will notice the interpretation which I gave to Puurnamadah Puurnamidam. I say it's a Vedantic interpretation, but it's actually an Advaitic interpretation. And there will be other interpretations of this. If I make it very precise, what is the nature of this negation, of the difference between consciousness and matter, between Brahman and the universe? How is it negated? Advaita Vedanta says, or Vedanta schools, they all say it is one, it's not different. That means the difference is negated. How is it negated? The question resolves itself into how are they one? You, the consciousness, and this entire universe, you are one. How are you one? And this issue is debated. There can be different kinds of oneness or non-duality. One is called Aikya, the utter identity. Consciousness is the world is consciousness. Brahman is the world is Brahman. Is this what is meant? Advaita Vedanta would say, not at all. It's utterly contradictory. The world is changing. Brahman is changeless. The world is limited. Brahman is unlimited. The world is full of difference. The Brahman is undifferentiated. How can they be one? How can the changeless literally be the changeful? How can the pure literally be the impure? How can the utterly subjective be the object? How can the undivided be the divided, literally? It's contradictory. You can't speak like that. There's no meaning at all. Another option is offered. Well, they're not really one, but you visualize them as one as a kind of meditation, that you sit and visualize that I am the one Brahman. It's called Upasana Aikyam. It's a visualization, a conceptualization which is done for spiritual progress. That is also not what is meant. Advaita Vedanta says we are claiming it's a fact. It's not a visualization. It's not something that you practice in meditation. You can, because such meditations are prescribed in the Upanishads. But this is not one of those. When you say Tat Tvam Asi, doesn't mean that you think, or I am Brahman. Doesn't mean that you meditate that I am Brahman. No. You have to realize I am Brahman. I am all this. Sarvam Yadayam Atma. Everything here is the Atman. In what sense? So here is the technical difference. This is the crux. Advaita Vedanta subscribes to what is called Badha Samanadhikaranyam. The oneness enabled by sublation. So, in reality it is Satchidananda, and the world, this idam which appears, is an appearance. So, there is one Puurnam. Now you see what Advaita Vedanta wants to say. Puurnamadah Puurnamidam means there is one Puurnam, and it is experienced by us as Ada and Idam. But both are appearances of that one underlying reality. There is moksha and there is samsara, but both are appearances of that one underlying reality. If we know it, if we do not know it, it is samsara. If we know it, recognize it, that I am that, the same thing becomes moksha. I'm using Buddhist language. The primordial ground of being, when we are ignorant of it, it appears as samsara. Upon realization of that primordial ground of being, that itself appears as nirvana. And that's Nagarjuna's famous nirvana. There is not the slightest difference between nirvana and samsara, because they are both, again, I'm mixing Advaitic and Mahayana Buddhist terminology, because they are both Puurnam. How is that possible? Logically speaking. So Advaita Vedanta's position is that it is a oneness established by sublation. Badha Samanadhikaranyam. This is the precise technical point on which there are huge debates. There's a price to be paid. Then the world becomes an appearance, and Puurnam becomes the reality. Yes. Let me just end with a peace chant. Yeah. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
So what to say more? It is 1 hour class. It has become 1.5 hours. So we do not know. Vedanta is so sweet. With questions are so profound, and the teacher is also wonderful. Thank you all, and thank the Swami. So Swami will be leaving tomorrow, but we will get another chance in, probably we are hoping in July. when he comes back. So we'll see to it. And thanks to Swami and thanks to all of you for coming and being with us. Thank you.
To you all, we are continuing with the reading from the Viveka authored by Sri Shankaracharya. We have been reading during our last discourse the sloka, sixth sloka, Badantu shastrani yajantu devan kurvantu karmani bhajantu devataha Atmaika bodhena vinapi mukti na siddhati brahma satantare opi. What is the meaning? Meaning is, men may recite the scriptures and sacrifice to the Holy Spirits. They may perform rituals and worship deities, but until a man wakes to knowledge of his identity with the Atman, liberation can never be obtained. No, not even at the end of many hundreds of Brahma's years. So, that is the last sloka you read. The sloka is telling, Shankaracharya is telling, men may recite the scriptures. We find so many people are there, they are well versed. Badantu shastrani yajantu devan kurmantu karmani bhajantu devata. They do the reading of the scriptures. They are thorough in scriptures, no doubt. And through this we do some intellectual enjoyment. Good questions, good answers, a good time we pass, but that will not give us the experience, realization. We cannot claim that since I have memorized and I can give good discourses on the scripture, so I am a realized soul. No. That is what is said here. And Yajantu Devan, we can worship many gods and goddesses also. This Karma Kanda, Shankaracharya has to establish the Jnana Kanda, the Upanishad, the Shruti, authority of Shruti, liberation, which is the aim of those Shrutis, not the Karma Kanda, which the aim of which is to take you to the heaven, higher sphere you enjoy, and kshine punne martalokam vishanti. After your enjoyment there, when your bank account, your investment is finished, then again you come back to the martalokam, this earth, our world, again to do merits, good works, good activities, austerities, tapasya, and again you achieve, obtain merits, and you, according to your desire, you go to higher spheres. But if you don't have any desire, then by doing good karmos, when your mind is purified and gradually you think that I am one with that ultimate reality, I am not anything else, then gradually, step by step, he is trying to make us understand that you will be liberated. But only reading will not do. Reading many books, reciting scriptures, and doing sacrifices for the gods and goddesses, and may perform rituals, karma kanda. This Vedas, there are two divisions in the Vedas, karma kanda and jnana kanda. So Shankaracharya is putting the stress, weight on the jnana kanda, which will bring us liberation, one with the ultimate reality, not living for certain years, a certain time, hundreds and centuries and some millennium in the higher sphere in heavenly abode there, and again you have to come back. So he is telling these things you can do, but that will not make you give you the liberation unless and until a man wakes to knowledge of his identity with the Atman, liberation can never be obtained by doing all these things. Reading Shastras, doing pujas, many good karmas, worshipping many gods and goddesses. We can do all these things, but without the real experience, realization of your one self with the ultimate reality, then you will not be liberated. And Brahmas, what is that? Na siddhati Brahma shatantareopi. Brahma's years means, Brahma's 100 years means 100 years plus 24 zeros. Add, then you understand how big the time means. For almost eternity you can do all these things, but mukti will not come, liberation will not come unless and until you feel your oneness with that ultimate reality. By doing all these things, good karmas, that you can enjoy some good time. By doing good karma, you will get good merits also. But if you are not established on this truth, that you are one with that ultimate reality, then you are not liberated. Although you are a learned man, you are a good man, you are doing good things, you are a devotee, you are worshipping so many gods and goddesses, nobody has any complaint against you, but you are not a free man, you are not a liberated soul. That is the point. So one has to give up the karma kanda and other things, and that is step by step. Now Shankaracharya will be telling. So next sloka. Amritattasva nashasti vitte nityeva hi shrutihi braviti karmano muktira hititmang sphutang yataha. Vittena, with the wealth. What is the meaning? Meaning is, the scriptures declare that immortality cannot be gained through work or progeny or riches, but by renunciation alone. Hence, it is clear that work cannot bring us liberation. Karma kanda of the Vedas will not bring liberation to you. It will bring higher spheres to you. You can go raise yourself and enjoy in some higher sphere for some time, which we call heaven, but not the liberation. So that is what is telling, and it has its reference. This Amritatvasva nashasti vittenityeva hi shruti. This is a reference from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is, there is a story there, Yajnavalkya Maitri Samvada, conversation between Yajnavalkya and Maitri. Yajnavalkya was a Brahmarshi. So he had two wives. And when he was going to accept sannyas, renouncing everything, he has finished his brahmacharya life, then garhastha life, vanaprastha life. Now he is going to take up sannyasa, giving up everything and completely trying to be absorbed in the Atman and Atman alone. So he called his two wives. My dear wives, I have taken the decision to take, it is a Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, mantra number, 2nd chapter, 4th subchapter, and 2nd mantra. There he is telling, Amritattasya tu no asha osti vittena iti braviti shruti. So these scriptures say this, Yajnavalkya is telling, yes, I will give up this worldly life, I will not have any connection, husband, wife, because I will take sannyasa, sammak rupena nyasa, complete renouncement, renouncing everything, renunciation. So I will not be bound and connected with anything other than being absorbed in that ultimate reality, which is Atman, Brahman. That is. So there is a wonderful conversation there, and these two wives, one was Maitri. Maitri was asking, all right, you are giving, now you come, I will divide my things, give it to both you wives, because I am your husband. If I give up everything, who will get it? You too will get. According to the rules, regulations, it will belong to you. Let me divide it into. Then one of the wives, Maitri, another one Katyayani. Maitri was telling, my dear husband, you are giving up everything for getting Amaratva, for liberation, to be one with the ultimate reality and getting the ultimate bliss. By getting my portion, this riches, wealth from you, will I be also able to get that bliss which you are going to attain? Then he was telling this husband, this is quoted from Brihadaranyaka, that conversation, no, that is not possible. Amritatsya nashasti vittena iti eva hi shrutihi. No, not by wealth you can get that what I am going to achieve now. I have done this. There are 4 stages in the Vedantic, those who are followers of Vedas. They have 4 stages. This Brahmacharya, say if our lives are 100 years, lifespan is 100 years, first 25 years is Brahmacharya. You, kayana manasa vacha, physically, mentally, and verbally, orally, from all points of view, you remain chaste, pure, and earn the knowledge. You gain knowledge so that you can stand on your own feet, so that you can, next stages, first stage is 4 stages, Brahmacharya, reading, learning, to become skilled in something, that I can support the family, I can support my body, I can support the society, I can do something. I will not be, I am no more a baby, that I will be dependent on my father, mother, society and others. Now we take up the responsibility by acquiring knowledge of that scripture. And during that time you must remain pure, completely, from all points of view. Kayano manusa vacha, kaya mano vakke, physically, mentally, and also verbally, orally. Through your tongue, you will not say something profane, something wrong. Through your physical body, you will not do anything wrong. Through your mind, you will not think something which is not pure, which is impure, which is not holy, which is not approved by the scripture. So, kaya, man, and vakya. Through words, you will not hurt anybody. You will not issue such words through your lips and tongue that it is, these words are not holy words, good words, permitted. It is not permitted to speak. So, from all points of view, this is Brahmacharya. Then Garhastha. Now, after having the scriptural knowledge from your guru, remaining in a guru's house for 12 years, now you are 25 years, you have come back, you may enter into the householder's life, have a family, because you have done your duty as a brahmachari, you have learned the knowledge, what is right. Now, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. There are 4 highest goals, aims are there in human life. Dharma, you have done the dharma. Artha, you can earn now money, so that you can have some of your enjoyments. It is not that you don't lower down yourself, degrade yourself to the level of the brutes. But as a human being, you can earn money honestly, you can spend money honestly. So, dharma, artha. Then kama. Yes, you have many desires also. It is not, kama means always it will be lust and always something profane and bad. It is not that. There are so many good works going on. This is also kama. I like to help others. I like to serve my father, mother. I like to serve the society. I like to do something for others. There are good people. We do not like to see that generally. But there are good people who, they have their kama, they have their desire, but nothing profane, nothing wrong, nothing bad, nothing impure. So you can do those things also now. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha, you enjoy. Moksha, finally, liberation. So this is 4 aims, great aims in life. This, first you achieve dharma, then artha, money, wealth, kama, enjoy with your controlled senses, not like beasts. Just a few days back, we heard some people were killed in a school or somewhere, this Nashville or somewhere in some province of America. What is going on? Somebody went with a gun and killed several people. This is my desire. This karma means not it will be always that we think lust is very bad. One should not be lustful. And so many quotes are there. But so many other karmas are there. So this desire to do something, so desire to do good things are also there in good people. They are always busy doing good things to others. That is why society is going on. All are not employed, all are not doing selfish activities. There are people doing unselfishly. There are sadhus, santas, good people, holy people, always thinking good of the whole world. Sarve sukhina santu, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. There are good people. They live their life for the good of others. Let all be happy, let all be free from diseases. Let all see good and auspiciousness in everything. Let none should suffer from anything. Wonderful, from Rigveda. So, this type of people are also there. They are not selfish. They do their minimum thing. For maintaining their own body, they enjoy something, but everything controlled. So, this husband was telling, by getting this, my property, you will not achieve what I am going to achieve. That is achieved only through sannyasa. Sannyasa means through renouncement. By renouncing everything, property, wife, relations, this feeling of the body, everything. I am no more a body. I will be completely remaining absorbed in the meditation and that thought on ultimate reality and always feeling the oneness with that. So, then this wife, Maitri, said, then my husband, I don't want to have your property, you take it back. The property, the wealth, the treasures that will not bring me the ultimate joy, the supreme bliss and peace, the liberation, which you are aspiring for and leaving us to achieve, then I also don't like to. You give me that by which I will also be able to enjoy and achieve that state which you are going to achieve by renouncing everything. So then he told his another wife, was happy. His desire was still there. All right, whatever property and wealth is there, yes, give it to you. I have my desire, I will enjoy still. So, nothing wrong. Everything has its stage. Gradually will come this life or that life. How many lives we have enjoyed. Then we have got this human body. This, in the third sloka, we read that Trividam, very difficult, rare thing. Trayameva lokam daiva anugraho hetukam. These three things are very rare. Human body, desire to know the truth, and also have a guide, an enlightened one. Then only we will be able to achieve that ultimate goal, reality, which we are striving for. That is why the human body we have got. We have our animal instincts, but we are not animals. From that point of view, generally animals, brutes, we are not brutes. So, the other wife said, I still want to enjoy the worldly pleasure and other things, all right, although you will not be here, but you give your property so that so long I live, I can enjoy the riches. So that was the mantra, that the scriptures declare that immortality cannot be gained through work or progeny or riches, but by renunciation alone. Hence it is clear that work cannot bring us liberation. So it is a quotation from Shankaracharya is quoting, half of the sloka is quoted from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, where Brahmarshi, the knower of the Brahman, Yajnavalkya, was telling his wife, when the wife was asking this question, that by riches you are leaving me, giving me back, will I be able to achieve that ultimate goal, that reality, feeling the oneness with God? Next mantra. Now, this part, now it was the greatness of abiding in Brahman. Now, means of knowledge. How to get knowledge, how to achieve that knowledge, gain that knowledge. Now, Shankaracharya is, one after another, will be telling that. Mantra number 8. Ato vimuktai prayateta vidwan sangnastavaayartha sukasprihasan santang mahantang samupetta deshikam tenopadishtartha samahitatma. What is the meaning? Meaning is, therefore, because this wealth and other enjoyment through the senses will not bring me the highest good, the highest knowledge, that knowledge of feeling the oneness with the ultimate reality, which will not liberate me. So therefore, what the wise people will do? Therefore let the wise man give up craving for pleasure in external things and struggle hard for liberation. So he is quoting that, because then what to do? The wise will now engage, give up craving for pleasure in external things and struggle hard for liberation. Let him seek out a noble and high-souled teacher and become absorbed wholeheartedly in the truth which is taught by him. This. The wise men will now, hence, therefore, the wise people, those who understand that pursuit of the worldly enjoyment, money, this, that, whatever you can achieve in this life, nothing has come with you, nothing will go with you, and it will not give me the ultimate joy, the supreme bliss, joy, feeling of that liberation, that freedom, I will not get. Although I may be the richest man in the whole world, I may be the most learned person in the whole world, but anything in this world cannot give me which is unworldly, otherworldly. That is the feeling, that liberation, that I am one with that ultimate reality. So wise people will take off, they will use their energy and time for this reason, because the goal of human life is the freedom, liberation. The wise people, projateta, will take full care, perfect care. Pro means prakshishta rupena yateta. Yateta means is taking care. Projateta. What he will do? Sangnasta vaiharta sukasprihasan. This, he will take out his mind from the desire to enjoy from the outside world, objects of the worldly things. There are so many things we all enjoy through eyes, chakshu, karna, juva, nasika, tok. All these things are there. Through eyes we enjoy some good things. Through skin we enjoy proximity. Through tongue we enjoy good food. So many things. Through ear I like this song, I like this sound. So many things are there we enjoy through all this. So wise people, now knowing this, that all these things will not be able to bring the highest goal to my reach, then what I should do, being a wise man? Wise people now will engage themselves perfectly, will take full care, perfect care, by giving up. And let him seek out a noble and high-souled teacher and become absorbed wholeheartedly in the truth which is taught by him, and he will give up craving for pleasure in external world, external things, object, which actually appears to be pleasant and pleasure-giving, but actually we find it gives just a transitory pleasure for some moment, for some years, for some hours, for some time. but not for eternity. Again we feel pain and pang and suffering in our life. No enjoyment of the world through the senses can be a permanent one. This we experience. But again, our attachment to the worldly things are so much that we forget our real self, and we think. The moment we think that we are one with God, we are one with the ultimate reality Brahman, we are free. Scripture is telling. Yesterday somebody, last class, was asking, when we will be liberated, how can we? Our scriptures say you are already liberated. You don't need to be liberated. Because you are already liberated, you are Atman. Only you have to know that. And so long you don't know, you are ignorant. And ignorance is the cause of all suffering, and that is called Maya. Why I am ignorant? That is Maya. What is not real, you are thinking that is real. This world, this sense, this body. We know, honey, every day we see in the Mahabharata, this Yudhishthira was asked one question by the Dharmaraja. What is the greatest of all wonders? What is that? And then Yudhishthira was answering that every day we find so many people dying, their body is being burned. We know this body will not remain for eternity. Still, we think others will die, but I will not die. There is a kind of pleasure that I am alive. Let others die. We know it is natural, but that it is applicable to my body also, to me also, that Kimasharjam, what greater queer thing can be other than this? Every day we are experiencing. So, wise people, by knowing that, they will give up all the desires to enjoy the external things and struggle hard for liberation. And how? They will go and seek out a noble and high-souled teacher who knows Santang Mahantang Samupetta Deshikam. He will approach, he will go, find out somebody who is Udaro Charita Mahatma. Deshamanno, people respect him. He is not an ordinary man. For his renunciation, for his establishment in truth, for his wonderful life, and for his realization of the ultimate truth, knowledge. People respect him. Such a man you find out, and then teno upadishtartha samahitatma. Then you become absorbed and try to achieve, follow, execute what he has upadishta, what he has given you, the advices in spiritual practice, austerities, paths. You follow that by approaching, going to a perfect man who is Santang, Mahantang, Samupetta, a high-souled teacher, noble, respected by one and all, knower of the truth. He does not do anything wrong. Everybody knows that. You also have full faith in him. Now you seek, how can I be liberated? And he will instruct you, follow his instruction and truth which is taught by him. So, next mantra is Uddhared Atmanatmanang Magnang Sangsaravaridho Yogarurattam Asadya Sammak Darshana Nishtaya. Meaning, Uddhared Atmanatmanang. This is also a quotation from the Gita. Shankaracharya is a modern man compared to our Vedas, Upanishads. Gita, Vedas was in Satya Yuga, Gita was in Dwapara Yuga, and Shankaracharya is in our Yuga, only 782, this Christian era. How many years? 1200, 1300 years. We are 20. So 1200 years back he was there. So he is quoting from the Gita. Bhagavan Sri Krishna also said, Arjun, Uddharet Atmanatmanam. Raise yourself. This is from the Gita, Gita 6th chapter, Dhyana Yoga, 5th mantra. Uddharet Atmanatmanam. Meaning is, through devotion to right discrimination, he will climb to the height of union with Brahman. By the power of the Atman, let him rescue his own soul, which lies drowned in the vast waters of worldliness. What wise man will do? Wise man will not seek any pleasure through this organs or sense organs. He will approach a guru, a noble heart, noble soul teacher, respected by one and all, and with full faith and trust, he will follow his instructions and engage himself fully, completely, prajatita. Completely, not today I am doing japa meditation, I am good, tomorrow I steal a little, then next day I have a little greed, I don't control myself, my mind. Today I am doing, it is not that. Completely, since it is the highest goal, highest good, goal of the human life, you engage your full energy, time, resources, whatever you have got by God's grace. We are not born with equal caliber, quality. But whatever God has given to you, are you utilizing? Have that, utilize that to the optimum. So, now he is quoting from the Gita that Uddharet Atmana Atmanam. Raise yourself by your own self. If your mind is pure, then it is your friend. Uddharet Atmana Atmanam Natmanam Absadayat Atmaiva hi Atmana Bandhuratmaiva Ripuratmano Gita. If your mind is controlled and pure, then with this pure mind you raise your individual soul. Raise and raise and raise to the highest level when you feel the oneness with the ultimate reality, Brahman. And if you don't do that, your mind, this mind, if not pure, purified and controlled, then what will happen? This mind will degrade you. This same mind can take me to the highest realization of freedom, can degrade me to down, make me a killer, a shooter, all the bad things, a rogue, a ruffian, what not, if my mind is not controlled. So raise yourself by yourself. Raise your present state of this jiva, this separation of God, separation from the Atman, remaining in this body, Jivatman, individual soul. Raise this individual soul to that feeling of realization of oneness with the ultimate soul, cosmic soul, that which is called freedom, and be liberated. Otherwise, this same mind will degrade you to the ordinary level, lower level, and how much it will be again difficult for yourself to raise yourself. Sri Ramakrishna used to give, in Calcutta, there was Fort William, this army headquarters in those days. Calcutta was the capital of the British Empire, and so there was army headquarters underground. So one day, he was a very curious man. All his mind is in Brahman, but he visited this circus, and he visited that place, he visited museum, but everywhere he felt the presence of divine only. We go to enjoy ourselves, oh, this is this, this is this. Our mind remains in the worldly level. Oh, this is 5,000 years back, this is that is that history, that is these things, we think in that way. But he, whenever he sees something, be it circus, in the circus he finds a lion and say, oh, Divine Mother's vehicle is the lion, you see, and he is in ecstasy. Divine Mother Durga he is seeing. One lady practiced walking on the stream without anything, from this side to that side. If she falls down, she may die, she may break her neck and body, anything may happen. Master is telling that you see that lady, how skilled she is. Overnight has she achieved this. Can you, any one of you, do this, walking from this side to that side? She is also a human being. How could she do it? How could she make it possible in her life? Because practiced. In the Gita, Bhagavan, Sri Krishna is telling Arjuna, practice, practice. Don't think that you cannot achieve. You have that quality. You have those virtues. You only do not know. That is why you are Jiva and I am this Paramatman. You are Jivatman. You know that, you will also be one with me. And that is the goal of life. What I say, you follow. You are my friend, I am telling you the truth. And once you come to that state, this Brahmi Sthiti, what will be the condition when one knows that ultimate reality? So, Abhyasanatukunta, when he was telling, I cannot do this, I am not able to do it, I don't think that I can do it, then Sri Krishna is telling Arjuna, don't worry, yes, practice, make it a man perfect. Abhyasanatukunta, vairagyano, practice and detachment. I am practicing, but my mind is in somewhere else. No. Mind will be attached in Brahman and Brahman alone. And I am practicing meditation, japa on purifying my mind. Overnight I may not be a Brahmogani, a liberated soul. Overnight my illumination may not come, I know. Rishis and Munis, thousands of years, lives after lives, they have been doing this austerity to be liberated. I understand. How many lives I have done, I do not know. But let me do consciously that I am striving for the highest goal to achieve in this life. So, Uddharet Atmana, who will help me? My own mind, pure mind, will guide myself. Guru Krishna Vaishnava tiner daya holo, eker daya bine jeev chhare khare galo. Sri Ramakrishna, I am quoting. Sri Ramakrishna is telling that you see, there are three things. Grace is there. Guru, your Guru has blessed you. Oh, my disciple, I bless you. That you have your self-knowledge, you reach the goal of life. Whatever I have given, I bless you. Now you practice, do the austerity, and you will come to that level which I have achieved. Krishna, God also wants that, yes, you achieve that highest goal of life. That is why you have been given this human birth. Vaishnava, other devotees also, oh, bah, very good, very happy. You are striving hard. Do, you all wish. If we find some devotees doing japa, meditation, and behavior is changing, someone is joining, someone is becoming, taking initiative, anything good anybody does, we appreciate, Baba, very good, go ahead. Even a rogue comes and say, from tomorrow I will not to do anything wrong. I like to, all right, good. You have taken the right decision. I was a murderer, I will not, good. That you have understood, we all become happy. So everyone is favorable. But one's own grace is not there. Everyone's grace is there, blessings are there. But once your own mind is not ready to pursue that path, then it will not do. Jeev chhare khare galo. Chhare khare means it is destroyed. You cannot achieve the goal. Chhare khare, in this life, if I cannot achieve that highest goal in this life, then it is as good as it is a misuse. Because this human body and everything, environment, my guru, my mantra, my atmosphere, environment, everything has been done, arranged by the ultimate reality in such a way that in this life I get my liberation. I achieve my highest goal. If I am a failure, then it is futile. It is a great loss. That is what scriptures say. So here also, if your mind is pure, that will always guide you towards the good things. Gradually, mind becomes your guru. I am quoting Sri Ramakrishna. How long you will remain with your guru? Guru will guide 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. You meditate every day, my guru will tell, now you come, fix your mind in the day. Always he is lecturing. Then how can I fix my mind? I am getting disturbed. This is the way to do japa, meditation. Fix your mind. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Then I have to do it myself. Mother can prepare my food, my diet, everything, all the nutritious items for me, ingredients. But I have to. Mother can push it into my mouth also, but mother cannot gulp it in. on behalf of me. I have to gulp it in, and then I have to digest, I have to take care. So that he, your own friend, is mind. Through devotion to right discrimination, this book's name is The Crest-Jewel of Discrimination, Viveka discrimination. So everywhere discrimination, use your brain. What is good, what is bad? What actually you will achieve by pursuing that path, this path? By taking poison, can you become immortal? Or by taking nectar or ambrosia, you can become immortal. You are you yourself. That is discrimination. Come, argue with me. Everything logically quoting Vedas, Upanishads, Rishis, Munis, giving example from the lives. What is happening all around? Even after that, you are running after that. Don't you understand what is good, what is bad? What is light and what is darkness? You don't understand? Light is light. Darkness is darkness. Day is day, night is night. Good is good, bad is bad. How long you will remain in ignorance? Ignorance is ignorance, enlightenment, and you are only you do not know to know that thing. That is what, through your discrimination, you remove all the ignorance, veils of ignorance, clouds of ignorance, and sun is already there. It is not that we have to bring a new sun. Sun is already there, only it is the cloud. That is why we are not seeing the sun. We are telling no, there is no sun in the sky. So, through devotion to right discrimination, he will climb to the height of union with Brahman by the power of the Atman. Let him rescue his own soul, which lies drowned in the vast waters of worldliness. Following the instruction of that noble soul, enlightened soul, one has to know the truth. Next mantra. Sangnasya sarvakarmani bhavabandha vimuktaye yattatang panditai dhirai atma abhyasa upasthitai. What is the meaning? Meaning of the 10th mantra is, let the wise who have grown tranquil and who practice contemplation of the Atman give up all worldly activities and struggle to cut the bonds of worldliness. Let the wise who have grown tranquil, this aham brahmasmi, if somebody thinks that always thinking, giving up, let the wise who have grown tranquil in mind and who practice contemplation, japa, meditation of the Atman, give up all worldly activities and struggle to cut the bonds of worldliness. How to achieve this? Now, this is a sangnasya sarvakarmani bhavabandha vimuktaye. Sangnasya sarvakarmani. Sangnasya, giving up, renouncing. Sarva karmani, sarva all, karmani, activities. Sangnasya sarva karmani, bhava bandha vimuktaye. Bhava, this world coming and going, birth and death. Bandha, bondage, vimuktaye, liberation, cutting it asunder. What one will do? Yattatang panditai dhirai atma bhyase upasthitai. That prajayatate, this prajatita, take care. Thinking what Guru has instructed, I have to do it very carefully, nicely, cutting my day after one after another, desires, these, that, so many things, our attachment to so many things, innumerable things, uncountable things we are attached to, we do not even know. When somebody asks, give it up, then we understand, oh, how difficult it is to give up. Without this, I cannot go. Same bed, same place, same chair, same thing, same food, same association. So many things. We think it is so easy to give up. A little bit change, we find no. We feel a fish out of water. So, these wise people will do, have grown tranquil, who have got this mental tranquility and have this habit of contemplation. They will contemplate on the Atman and give up all worldly activities and struggle to cut the bonds of worldliness. Next. Chittasya shuddhaye karma natu vastu upalabdhaye. Vastu siddhi vicharena na kinchit karma kotivihi. Shankaracharya at that time was fighting against the many good people also. They are religious people, but always doing this karma kanda, this ritualistic worship of the ultimate reality. He said, no, that is for the beginners. But you should not remain absorbed in it. We go to the school, first we learn alphabet. With our alphabet, first our learning, our education, so-called pursuit for knowledge starts with learning the alphabet. But should we remain completely bound with the alphabet only, that level? How long we should remain the babies in the kindergarten of spiritual life? We have to grow up. Next grade, next grade, next grade. So, that is there. Ritualistic worship, this, that. But don't you understand? That will send you, you will be able to go to some higher sphere, again you have to come back. Why don't you take another course, higher course, thinking of that ultimate reality, feeling the presence of that everywhere in you, within and without. Then only you will be liberated. If you have got a higher goal, why you will remain happy with the lower things of enjoyment? Our master Sri Ramakrishna said there are three types of anandas, bliss. Vishayananda, getting joy, bliss in the Vishaya, enjoyment of the objects, only this eating, driving, sleeping, all these things we enjoy, many things. Vishaya, good food, oh wow, good, we become so happy. Visiting some place, seeing I think, oh, he is my own. So I have got my own friend, my dearest friend, we feel happy. So, Vishayananda, you get joy, bliss, by having your association with the objects, some kind of enjoyment, very gross level, lower level, crude level. Then, Bhajanananda. No, I am not that happy with the foods and other things. People take food, I am doing bhajan here. We are listening bhajans, good songs. I am myself singing God's name, or some other is singing, or good talk is going on. I am attending. Some people will go to they will not come to the temple, they will not come to attend the discourses on Vivekananda, what is Brahman, what is my hotel is there, casino is there, bar is there. They will be enjoying their time in that way. They will not neither come to the shrine, nor they will strive for what is God, whether the goal of life is enjoyment of this all worldly things, or there is something otherworldly, unworldly. Is there anything which is called spirit, Atman, self, Brahman? This question will not arise in their mind, because they are happy with that. So, there are stages. When the crude enjoyment, Vishayananda is gone, we feel joy in Bhajanananda, taking God's name, reading good books, doing japa meditation. All these things are Bhajanananda, taking God's name, listening to God, doing some good work, thinking of God, deifying. But I am not established in the ultimate truth. But I am an aspirant. I get joy in that. So, a little higher level. Bhajanananda. Bhajan means this glories of God. I chant that, I listen to that, I memorize that, I enjoy that. All this singing, reading, doing japa meditation, all these things. But I have not reached that highest goal. Highest is that is Brahmananda. The bliss of the Brahman. I am absorbed in my own self. That real self I have known, the connection. I am that. Aham Brahmasmi. I am absorbed in that only. No bliss, no joy of the world can be compared to that. The infinitesimal part of that joy is greater than any worldly joy which we enjoy through our senses, gross senses. 5 senses of activities and 5 senses of this perception. We don't get that joy, which is indescribable. Amang manasa gocharam. It cannot be spoken out through your tongue. It cannot be described through your mind. Who will describe that? How much joy it is, that Brahmananda, the bliss of the samadhi, that ananda, bliss. Can you describe? Can you narrate? When they come back, they cannot describe, because now mind is limited mind. Mind is also a matter. Matter cannot describe the spirit. Anything worldly cannot describe what is otherworldly, unworldly. So, this, I will finish this, time is. So, this is what he will do. He will be always thinking of Atma Bhasha, thinking of my own Atman is one with that ultimate Brahman, Atman. This. He will be always sangnasa, giving up all others. My desire for driving, my desire for eating, my desire for mixing with others, my desire for talking and talking, so many things, all these desires are there. Apparently it doesn't have anything wrong also. I'm not doing anything that it is sinful. But if you want to know the ultimate truth, knowledge, experience, then you have to give up all those things. If you want to go to the eastern side, east, you must walk towards east. You are walking to the west and you cannot reach east, Sri Ramakrishna. If you are serious, really you mean that you want to know yourself, then strive hard, as instructed by the noble soul person whom you have accepted as your guru. Follow his instruction, do your best, and then you will find the result. Otherwise not. I have gone to the school, but I don't attend the classes. I am a student, but I am not a student with knowledge. I am not a knowledgeable student. I cannot score marks, because my name is there as a student, but I am not following the classes, fixing my mind in what the teacher is teaching, what the home task is being given to me. I am doing the home task and I am appearing in the exam. Then only I can see that, yes, I know, because I have practiced. I have not done anything, but I know that I am a student. Good teachers are also there. My headmaster is very learned. My teachers are also very good. My friends are also wonderful friends, all intelligent. That will not help me. I am a student, that name I have got, but not a student of knowledge. What is expected of in this human life? It is expected that we will know ourselves. So next, chittasya shuddhaye karma natu vastu upalabdhaye vastu siddhir vicharana na kinchit karma kotibhi. Meaning is, right action helps to purify the heart, but it does not give us direct perception of the reality. The reality is attained through discrimination, but not in the smallest degree, even by 10 millions of acts. We do so many karmas. Shankaracharya is targeting the karmakandis, those who think that doing all this homa, oblation, rituals, that only will bring the ultimate reality, ultimate goal, highest goal. No. He is telling, chittasya shuddhaye karma natu vastu upalabdhaye. What will happen by doing ritualistic worship? Right action helps to purify the heart, but it does not give us direct perception of the reality, our capital, ultimate reality. Your mind will be a little purified, that is good. But don't think that you have achieved the goal. You remain there. I have done all ritualistic worship, No. You have raised yourself to a little degree, higher level. But that is not the goal, that is not the ultimate. There are 20 stairs to go to the roof. So 5 stairs, 6 stairs, 7 stairs, but you cannot claim that I have seen the roof. And when you go to the roof, you see the whole 360 degree. You know what is there. Nothing is unknown to you. You know the everything when you go to the roof. Roof means that Brahman. So one step you have done. You have purified your good actions, right actions. You have done. This is good. But vastu siddhi vicharena na kinchit karma kotivi. This, what you have to do? By doing good actions, you can purify, but you cannot know the direct perception of the reality. The reality is attained through discrimination. Vastu siddhi vicharena, vichar means this discrimination. But not in the smallest degree, even by 10 million acts. By doing all good works, but not thinking of the ultimate reality, thinking yourself one with that ultimate reality. Then how can you are very good things you are doing? You remain, you will have heaven, but not liberation. People will not criticize you. You are a good man. You are doing, performing, I am doing puja, all these things. But if you think that is the ultimate thing you have done, no. You have done some preliminary things that will raise your mind to a higher level. But with that pure mind, you have to have the reflection of that ultimate cosmic mind in your own mind. This cosmic mind and individual mind will be merged together, then only. And that will come through meditation, through deep thinking, nididhasana. Shrotabbo, mantabbo, nididhasitabbo. First you hear from the Guru, from the scriptures, mantabbo, then you discriminate on that what my Guru has said, it is right. What scripture is telling, it is right. Everything is changing. It is not real. So I have to know what is real, what is unchanged, what is eternal. Then you nididhasana. Completely fix your mind in that and that only, and feel the union. That is called yoga. Yoga is the union of the individual soul with the ultimate soul. So, Supreme Soul. So, now its time is over. I will not take any more time. We will continue with this wonderful mantras of the Vivekachudamani, composed by Swami Shankaracharya Jadi. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Any question there? Mm-hmm. In the yes. online question? You read the online question.
Is this 4 stage of spiritual growth the same as Islamic school of thinking? Is this 4th stage of spiritual growth same as Islamic school of thinking?
Please repeat.
Is this 4th stage of spiritual growth same as Islamic school of thinking?
Islamic school?
Islamic, Muslim.
Islamic.
Yeah, is it the same?
Islamic school of thinking.
Yes.
I'm sorry, perhaps they don't have that, their philosophy is not up to that liberation. I don't think they understand liberation. They understand that Behast, Jannat, very good place where all kinds of enjoyment will be there. So, if they follow, they will be having, that is there. That is what I know. This liberation is not there, that. So, it is not one with. The liberation according to the Vedanta is not the that path is philosophy, is Islamic philosophy is teaching. Any other question?
Is an embodied guru necessary?
Is an
embodied,
Is in body?
an embodied guru, do you have to have a guru with a body, necessary for the knowledge of Brahman?
Embodied girl.
Alive at the present moment is what embodied. You know, I'm embodied, but my father is not embodied.
Physical manifestation.
Physical manifestation. Does the guru have to have a physical body for you to have knowledge of Brahman?
Guru.
Yeah.
So whether guru should have a physical body?
Yeah. They're asking, does the guru have to have a physical body?
You see, there are divine illuminations also. There are the Rishi Munis. Sometimes they have got some revelations from some divine source that was not physically present, but they are guided. Yes, this is this. So, if my mind is pure and really it is serious and right earnestness is there, in which way God will enlighten me, that is not written in the book. Anyway, God is not limited. That Brahman's feeling, this Brahman can be realized only by those who will be chosen by that Brahman. Then I will not do anything. No, you have to remain ready for that. So our japam, meditation, striving, austerity, so-called things we do, this is for our own satisfaction, to make us qualified for that. If I have not, my father, mother knows that I have a desire to drive the Rolls Royce, but I don't have any driving license, nor do I know driving. My father, mother will give the key to me that this Rolls Royce is there, but they will not give me. But when father, mother will find that my son has this boy, my child, it has the desire to drive the new Rolls Royce, plus he is qualified also. He has already got the permit, driving license, and he is a good, skilled driver. He will not crash. He will not do anything wrong. So, then that Brahman can be. But if I do not prepare myself to have that knowledge, to have that feeling, then how can I expect that it will come? We have to remain ready. When it will come, that he knows or that knows. We cannot say that Brahman is he or she. That ultimate reality, truth will be revealed to me only when that will choose, not me. Then I will not do any sadhana. No, we will do all our sadhana, our desire, our for that, strong yearning for that, we will remain prepared. When it will come, not. And for ordinary people like us, an ordinary human body, because so long I will not get when I will do some japa meditation, then I will get some revelation. Then my guru is not physically present, but I am getting revelation, some kind of direction. But in the beginning, when I have got nothing, what to do, how to meditate, what to meditate on, then I need somebody to guide me. But on the path process, when I am advanced, I will feel that as this mind becomes guru, then physical guru is not necessary. Then my own intelligence, my own pure intelligence, my own pure mind will be my guru. And I will find that whatever is needed by me, I am getting guidance, necessary directions from that. I will not take a false step. Anything else?
No.
Okay? I can complete. You can close. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Avir Maidhi Rudra jatte dakshinam mukham te namang pahi nityam